Welcome back to Tiny Travelers. If you've ever tried pumping in an airport bathroom, packed leaky milk bags into a carry-on, or wondered how you're supposed to keep up with breastfeeding on the road, you're not alone. Today's guest knows that feeling well. Welcome to Tiny Travelers, brought to you by BabyQuip, the family travel podcast where we make traveling with little ones easier, smarter, and more fun. I'm Sarah, a travel-loving mom who knows the joys and chaos of exploring with little ones. Each week, we dive into parent-tested strategies, travel hacks, and honest advice on what really works with kids. So buckle up, grab your travel planner, and let's make your next family adventure unforgettable. Pack light, travel happy. Nickey Ramsey is a mom of two who turned her own struggles with breastfeeding while working and traveling into practical solutions that have helped thousands of moms feel more supported. She is the creator of Junobie, a reusable breast milk storage bag that's both eco-friendly and travel-friendly, and recently launched it as a software company designed to give moms more personalized help wherever their lactation journey takes them. Nickey, welcome to Tiny Travelers. We're so excited to have you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us as well. We're really excited to be here.
My pleasure. Yes, we just talked just before we started this recording about all of your entrepreneurial kind of ventures, and it's so exciting. So I want everybody to kind of know where you started, how you designed Junobie, and where you're taking it.
So Junobie started actually in my garage, and had the company. I had a baby, and he had a tongue tie and a lip tie, and I was going through thousands of those plastic single-use milk storage bags, and really wanted something that was going to be eco-friendly and just easy to carry and store. And then obviously that safety feature of making sure that when I reheated his breast milk, it wasn't going to be leaching microplastics. So I went to the Google search bar, which is what every millennial mom would do, and discovered that the product did not exist. I was honestly shocked. This was in 2019. So before 2019, outside of like mason jars or glass, silicone milk storage bags or silicone for milk storage in general was like not a thing.
So that's so cool. And then you took Junobie on Shark Tank.
I did, yes. So, okay, what most people don't know is that we actually applied to Shark Tank twice. The first time we applied was, we applied twice. We made it to round two the first time. And then the second time we made it all the way through. And we actually were able we got flown out to LA and were able to pitch to the sharks. And we did get an investment offer for Junobie.
Awesome. And did you take it?
We did get an investment offer from Emma Greed, and she's actually an amazing entrepreneur and also was the co-founder of Skims, Kim Kardashian's company. Yes, so she saw the vision in Junobie and saw how great the company could be, and then obviously saw how amazing it would be in offering our eco-friendly milk storage products to parents around the world. And then she was also a breastfeeding mom as well, so that really helped a lot.
Yes, it helps when you kind of understand the struggles behind breastfeeding and how difficult it can be. And then especially when you finally get it and then you spill it or it goes bad or the bag breaks or something like that. And then you're like, I just wasted all of that time doing all of this that I'm trying to do for my baby. And then it's gone to waste. So I think this is such a cool idea. What part of your personal journey as a mom has shaped solving problems for parents on the go?
Oh my gosh, so many. So I was a traveling therapist. When I had my baby, I was also a traveling therapist. So I was like going to 6 different sites, trying to breastfeed, trying to store my breast milk. Could not use glass mason jars, right? That made no sense. So I struggled with breast milk storage. I struggled with also keeping my breast milk cold. So that was a big challenge. And then whenever you're traveling with a baby, you have to because breastfed babies really prefer breast milk that is warmed. When you have to then heat the breast milk up during travel. I also struggled too with just like leaky bags. My baby, I can really remember this travel visit that we were making to my mother-in-law's house. It was like 3.5 hours away, almost 4 hours, 3 hours and 49 minutes to be exact. And I was thawing. I
You
had the
don't remember it or anything.
I know. I had the breast milk in the cooler bag, and then whenever I looked down at the floorboard, it started to defrost and the plastic bag had a hole in it. So his
Oh
breast milk was
no.
like spilled everywhere, and like he was not used to baby formula. And my milk supply at the time was like low, right? My supply started to drop just because of like work circumstances and everything. So I
Sure.
was like so nervous, wasn't sure what we were gonna do with him and how I was gonna, try and feed this baby. We did manage, which is good. But
Thank goodness.
seeing how, myself being a working mother and going through all the obstacles and trying to find like time in my work schedule to pump, even like I can remember whenever I was pumping in a meeting full of women around the table. It was such a high stress, just because you feel guilty a lot of times as a mom to have to
Hmm.
like take that 30 minutes to pump and then reintegrate back into the workplace. Being able to find a place to pump, so I struggle with all the things. And I listen to our customers as well as a Junobie, when I listen to our Junobie customers. But whenever Junobie introduces something into the market, it is truly out of a need that some mother has experienced, and really
Hmm.
just trying to help the parent in the best way that we can.
That's awesome. I love that because products coming from moms who have been through it before, you know that they're going to be better because that mom has gone through that same struggle that you have. So it's honestly so beneficial. And I love that so much.
Yes.
Um, before you launched Junobie, you kind of just talked about some of your breastfeeding troubles when in the workplace or traveling. But was there a specific breaking point that you're like, something has to change?
Yes. So, what my breaking point was whenever I didn't have what I needed. And I'm the kind of person where if I don't have what I need, then I'm going to go out there and try and either find the solution or I'll make the solution. Um, so I chose the latter. I made the solution to the problem. And that made a world of difference just because I thought it would just be me as a breastfeeding parent who were going through these struggles, but apparently there were millions of other people around the world that were also going through these struggles. Everything down from the breast milk storage bag that we created to the breast milk storage box that holds a large amount of breast milk versus like the bags, and even to our breast
Mhm.
milk warming and cooling cup. Um, if there's a problem, like we're gonna try and have a solution for it. And it's been like that. I think just generations women are like that, honestly. But
Oh, yeah.
I definitely was that sort of in a breastfeeding parent and now entrepreneur as well.
I mean, women have always been problem solvers.
We
Let's
have
be
truly
honest.
have. Yes, we truly have been problem solvers. I 100% agree
Mhm.
with you.
So after creating Junobie, you realized that maybe there were still some gaps in the ways that moms are supported. Um, what did you hear and learn about moms that needed to be supportive that led you to be creative?
Yes. So we listened to our customers, and we knew that a lot of parents were having struggles with getting that support in the workplace, being able to find a place to pump, a designated place outside of the car or the bathroom. So we knew that that was a challenge
Hmm.
that a lot of parents were facing. And then also just being able to give them that time. Um, to be able to give a mother the time she needs to pump and not docking her lunch break and things like that. We saw that as a need just from listening to our customers, and then there was legislation coming down the pipeline that we thought, okay, this needs to pass. Like these laws need to pass that will help these parents. And when the law finally passed in December of 2022, we were so ecstatic. We were so ecstatic. So yes, finally there's a law. It's under the Fair Labor Act, and it's the Pump Act. Fair labor law, sorry, but it ensures that women that are returning back into the workplace now, actually the employers have to provide them with a place to pump, and it cannot be a bathroom, it can't be a car, it has to be a private space to pump now, which is absolutely amazing.
Amazing. That's so awesome. And so then when you created Be Creative, what kind of support were you hoping to offer moms?
We were hoping that we would be able to actually provide parents with a way that they can reduce the amount of stress that's associated with returning back into the workplace. When you are a breastfeeding parent and you are returning back into the workplace, it is incredibly stressful on you to be able
Mm-hmm.
to know where are you going to pump. Are you going to have the time to pump? Are you going to have that support there from your employer? So that part is very stressful on parents. So we really wanted for the Junobie lactation management software to be able to have a place to where they can go and they can book and schedule their lactation rooms. They can sync it with their productivity calendars, and it can really help to reduce that stress. That's one less thing that parents now have to stress about. Because when you're competing with three other women in the workplace to pump, sometimes more, that can
Yeah.
be that can be hard.
My gosh, yeah. That's amazing. And I mean, honestly, sometimes all you need is just like a little extra support. Somebody to say, "I've been there before. Here's what I did. Here's what you can do." Because when I was breastfeeding, it was so difficult at first. So I had to get a lactation consultant. And honestly, they didn't do anything different than what I was doing, but just
Right.
made me feel more confident about doing it. And then all of a sudden, it was just night and day difference. So sometimes all you just need is like a little pat on the back or like a little handhold or, some advice because your body knows what to do, but then you just feel maybe uncomfortable, unconfident, whatever the case is. So any support that moms can get for breastfeeding and lactation is so amazing. So I
Yes,
love
we
that.
really, yeah, we, well, and this is something interesting that you bring up, Sarah. You brought up that you did utilize a lactation consultant. So that was something that was very important for us. Lactation, and then obviously the postpartum mental health. There's a lot of postpartum mental health challenges that women go through, and we really made it in an effort to partner with lactation consultants. So we do have them on our platform, and we also have postpartum mental health specialists on the platform. So women can really get the help that they need when they need it, like in real time. So
That's
yes,
so awesome because as we all know, even if you're not going back to work right away, moms are busy. Moms have things going on. Moms have mom brain. Moms have everybody talking to them all at once. And so whether you are going back to work or you're traveling or you just have a busy life, you just need a little bit more support. So it sounds like people can get whatever they need.
absolutely, yes.
That's awesome. Um, have you traveled with your children a lot?
Oh yes, we do travel a lot. We travel a lot.
Awesome. Have you ever traveled with your kids by yourself with no support?
I have not traveled with my kids without support though. I just cannot
Mhm.
imagine on honestly like traveling with my kids without support, to be honest with you. Like I'm actually like this is causing me anxiety just thinking about it. Traveling with my kids by myself is causing me to have anxiety right now. Like, oh my gosh. Like that's one of that's one of the awesome things too. I will say about Baby Quick is that you guys like have your quality providers in each city to help with that challenge. Whenever you do have a mom who may be traveling by herself, she doesn't have to like gather all the
Exactly.
equipment and like haul all this because your quality providers are going to be there. So I love it.
That's right. That's kind of
Genius.
what Baby Quip was, founded on was just supporting traveling parents who didn't want to bring all their gear or weren't sure what kind of gear they needed when they got there, or needed something that, their area didn't have, like beach gear or hiking gear or whatever. So yeah, Baby Equip was founded on kind of the same principle, which is just supporting moms, parents, and providing a little bit of an extra hand when you need it. So I think that's awesome. Do you have like essentials when traveling, and for just kids, and then also for maybe babies who are breastfeeding?
Okay, the essentials. When you're traveling with a baby who's breastfeeding, obviously, well, just in kids in general, that too. We'll start with the breastfeeding though. So you're gonna have to make sure that you have enough of your breast milk storage bags. But a lot of moms actually really like our Junobie breast milk storage boxes, just because they can hold about 20 ounces of breast milk or baby formula. So that's a large amount of liquid that you can imagine. A lot of our parents prefer using our breast milk storage boxes when they're traveling as an essential. And the reason why they prefer these is because they hold 20 ounces of liquid. And, as you can imagine, that is a substantial amount of liquid that they don't have to have like a huge um, jug or whatever with them, because the little milk boxes just kind of fit in their diaper bag or their purse. And being able to travel with enough diapers and wipes and snacks and you're
Yes.
if you're heating up the breast milk, because infants can start, you can start kind of like introducing these things, right? More food type things outside of breast milk when they're 6 months of age. Unless it's
Mhm.
sometimes the numbers can change, but 6 months is what's normally recommended. But making sure you have enough breast milk and snacks and a way to cool the breast milk after you pump it, because breast milk will start to grow bacteria in it if it's left out at room temperature for too long. So you kind of have to be cognizant about those things. And just being
And then
able
what are
to.
those rules about traveling with breast milk? Like how how do you keep it cold? What temperature does it need to be at, and how long can it actually sit out without being cold?
So breast milk can be left out at room temperature for a couple hours before it will start to grow bacteria. Once you introduce the breast milk bottle to the baby, it's not recommended that you feed it to them again,
Mhm.
just because of the introduction of the bacteria. And then also, you can travel with ice packs. I see parents that travel with ice packs whenever they are with their babies, or they have cooler cups and cooler bottles now on the marketplace that help you with keeping things cold if you don't have ice. But the TSA, uh, they will screen the breast milk. So I have an actual video about my breast milk getting screened, and when they screen it, they like put this little wand, almost like it reminds me of one of those little like testing strips that you use whenever you're
Mhm.
like at the doctor's office, and they
Yeah,
just
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of wave it over the breast milk and then see if it changes colors or whatever. Um,
Whoa, weird.
so you have that, and but that's one of the but ideally, I have heard horror stories about people that are traveling with breast milk and then TSA will toss all the milk. And unfortunately, women, some new parents don't know their rights regarding breast milk
Mhm.
storage and traveling with breast milk. And um, you should have on your cell phone a copy of what it says on the TSA. So that way, whenever you ever do approach TSA at the gate, you're like, hey, this is what your website says, and
That's a
this
really great
qualifies.
tip. Know the rules, know what you're allowed to do before you get there, so that if
Yes.
anything happens, you know that you're all set to go and you're following the rules. Because how many times do you encounter people at, anywhere that they work, and they don't exactly know what's going on? So I imagine the TSA is probably, you never know, you got a new person or a strict person or whatever. So that is such a great tip. And then what about just your kid travel essentials, not breastfeeding? What do you usually take with you?
Kid travel essentials. I absolutely have to have there have you guys ever heard of Slumber Pod? It's like this
Yes, of
black out.
course.
Yes, I have to
Yes.
have that Slumber Pod, and I love oh my gosh, Docatot, Grand Doc. Those things are
Mm-hmm.
my son loves his Docatot Grand Doc. I enjoy having toy essentials like the Busy Baby mat. I like that, and having a lot of like sensory type toys. The sensory
Mm-hmm.
toys really help to keep him engaged, and some things to help with like coloring. His little markers and a coloring book, and of course, always snacks and a baby stroller.
Always snacks.
It's so much. A baby stroller.
Yes.
Gotta have the baby stroller. A car seat. Making sure you have the car seat. Now we're headed into like a booster seat. Um, and just even being able to like find those things when I go to like another city. So okay, I need to find a Nuna, and like, I need to find a Nuna exec because that's what we have, and my husband's gonna know that
Mm-hmm.
exec already and know how to install it. So I think about all these things whenever like we're traveling, those like basic type things.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, those are the things. That's what I always tell traveling families too. You need to go through your regular day and say, how does the baby get around? How does the baby sleep? How does the baby eat? And then how does the baby play? And that's basically what you need to cover. And if you can rent anything or get anything at your destination, don't bring it with you unless it's absolutely essential, because you're just bogging yourself down with too much stuff and you've already got the kids. So you don't need to over stress yourself.
Yes, absolutely.
What's one mistake that you see maybe first time moms traveling make, and what would you tell them to do instead?
I think a big mistake that first time moms make is not just if you're not planning your before you leave the trip, you have to make sure you have everything. I recommend getting a checklist, right? I like a checklist of everything that I'm gonna need, and then also, guys, I'm a huge fan of going to like TikTok and Reddit, and because you only know what you know, right? As a first time mom, you only know what you know.
Exactly.
So I like am not afraid to ask other people, like, "Hey, I'm going to be going to this destination, and we're going to be here this long. What are some things that you recommend?" The checklist is an automatic, right? And then
Well,
obviously like getting feedback from other moms and watching a lot of videos. I'm a video
yes.
person. I love watching videos.
Me too. I didn't used to be, but then I got on the TikTok and then I was like, wow, this isn't just like dance videos. People are doing videos on all kinds of stuff and you can learn so much just by watching videos. And also Reddit, they do have some really great stuff on there too. So I think that
And
that's
if
a
you
good
have
idea.
like if you have a baby who's like older and they are like eating snacks and things, making sure you pack enough snacks.
Bring the snacks. We have to have so many snacks, especially for moms too. And if you're breastfeeding mom, you got to bring the snacks and the water
Yes,
because
the snacks in the water
you can't
because
get
you will
through the day
regret it
without
not
that.
having the
That is so true. Um, do you have a favorite story or, kind of like an inspirational story of a mom who found Junobie and used it and it was just like life-changing for them?
Oh my gosh, we hear so many stories all the time about how amazing our products are and obviously how life changing they are. The most recent story was I was in Las Vegas at a conference, at an HR conference, just because Junobie is creating this. Has created this lactation management software, and
Right.
all the parents, all the mothers need to know about it because it's going to be utilized in their workplace. So I was just like talking to one of these HR leads, and she asked me what the name of our company was. And I said, "Oh, it's called Junobie." And she said, "Junobie, the breast milk bag company?" And it was, yes. And she says, "I used your products And it was so awesome, just like listening to her testimony of how she loved using our products. And she had no idea I was a creator. But yeah, it was just like really nice being able to like meet a real life mom, because when you're so digital in this e-commerce space, you don't always get a chance to like meet the people that actually use your products.
Mm-hmm.
So what are the odds that while in Vegas a couple months ago that we meet this HR professional, and she was like, Junobie, the breast milk bag company? And I said, yeah. And then
And
I
I
and
bet
then,
that is so uplifting too. Sometimes being an entrepreneur and, having your own business and doing all the things like moms and having kids and all that, it can get really stressful, and you don't always hear, congratulations or way to go, mom, you're doing a great job. But then I'm sure when you hear people using your products for the way that you wanted them to be used is so beneficial to you. You're like, all right, I'm going to keep going. I'm doing something good.
yes, definitely beneficial to me, and not just to me, but all the other moms around the world. Our like sole purpose and the goal for Junobie was to make sure that every breastfeeding parent was able to have access to eco-friendly, safe milk storage options, and we have definitely done that, and then some.
Awesome. I love this so much. Last question, but looking back at your own motherhood journey and your travel, what's one piece of wisdom that you would want to pass on to moms who are maybe nervous about combining breastfeeding and travel?
Okay, first off, I want to tell that mom, first off, you can do this. You can definitely do this. Like, I'm going to be cheering you on. Go through and look at the checklist, travel essentials for what you need whenever you are going to be breastfeeding. Making sure you have enough milk storage bags, making sure that you have something to clean your breast pump parts with and to clean your bottles with. Don't be shy. If you have to, like wash those baby bottle parts out or your breast pump parts out, a lot of people use the bathrooms, because there's no really sanitary way to wash your baby bottles or your pump parts in the airport or on the go.
Right.
I use the restroom. I would like go to like restaurants and would have to use the bathroom because I was traveling, right? I would have to use the
Right.
bathrooms at these like public restaurants to like clean my pump parts with in between use to make sure that bacteria didn't grow and the bacteria didn't get in my breast milk. And if you are a mother and you are a tandem feeder and you're doing breast milk and baby formula, because a lot of us are, I was like that
Mm-hmm.
as well. Making sure that you have enough of your powder and water to prep with and all those things. And then a lot of people are very accommodating, making sure that you can use the Junobie lactation app to find and book your lactation room if you're pumping at the airport or or what you're doing, or if you're at like a football game, go inside of the app and register for your room to pump in and not feel
That
like you're
is
going to a
such a
bathroom.
good idea. That is so good. But I
Yeah.
hear a lot of parents, well, new moms, being worried about inconveniencing people while they're traveling, or people are going to be upset about the baby crying, or people are going to be upset about me doing this or whatever. And honestly, you may run into somebody like that, some, crotchety old person that's not happy. But for the most part, I think people are so supportive, so kind and friendly. You just have to you're allowed to be out in the world too, whether you're breastfeeding or not. And so just go with it and don't be nervous, because everybody's been through it before and you'll get through it.
Yes, everyone's been through it before, and like we 100% are gonna be there to back you up and support you. Like Junobie will, Baby Quip will, like because we understand, right? We're very very relatable to us.
Yes, I agree. Nickey, thank you so much for sharing your story and for reminding us that real innovation often starts with real frustration. Whether it's designing a better milk bag or building an AI that understands motherhood, your work helps lighten the loads for so many parents. To anyone listening, if this conversation made you feel a little bit more confident about traveling with a baby, send it to a fellow mom or parent who could use the same spark. And remember, if you're hitting the road soon, Our friends at BabyQuip make it easy to rent the baby gear you need when you arrive. Cribs, strollers, and car seats, you name it. Use code TINYTRAVELERS at checkout to save $20 on any $100 rental. Until next time, pack light, trust your instincts, and happy travels.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Tiny Travelers. I hope today's episode gave you the inspiration and practical tips to make your next family adventure easier, stress-free, and more fun. If you loved today's episode, head over to the show notes for promo codes and exclusive resources to help you plan unforgettable trips with your little ones. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Happy travels, and I'll see you next time.